Hello, friends. So, a few weeks ago, I went to visit my father's grave with my sister to, clean it up because there were a lot of leaves falling down and the flowers have died and it was just dirty. So, we went there to clean it up, and basically, the whole time that we were cleaning, I was just thinking, damn, life can be really short. Life can be short. Because, my father, he passed away at a pretty young age. Well, not young, but in his young adult years. And so that made me really think about how short life can be. And so that's why I decided to make this video. But I don't really want to talk about life being short because, we can die at any moment. Yes, it's true, but I really want to point out that life is short and it feels like life is short because we spend time on things we don't even enjoy. We waste time on things we don't even enjoy, on things that distract us, on things that tempt us, and, that just waste our precious time. And I really like this quote by Seneca, which is basically what I just said, but it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. So, yeah, I'm making this video to basically help you guys out and to point out things that may waste our time, and cutting those things out would really, I think, make life more beautiful. And of course, I'm not perfect, right? I still struggle with a lot of these things, but these are just things that, popped up in my mind, and I think that can really help. And so I really want us to implement these things together and grow. So I think one of the main things that waste our time nowadays is our phones. And I'm speaking from experience, and I think a lot of people can relate to this. So basically, what I did a lot of times was get home from school, you know, change, then get in bed, open Instagram, and just damn. I open up Instagram to like get into it while I'm speaking, but basically what we do is just we open up Instagram and start scrolling, and then after a long amount of time, we just we realize that we're scrolling and like think, what am I even doing? Like, why am I scrolling, right? And then you basically feel guilty because, you spend your time on distractions, right? So try and be intentional with how you spend your time. Maybe write things down. You know, if you have something to do in that day, something more purposeful, write it down and try to do it, right? And of course, there's gonna be times where you're still tempted to scroll, but what matters is just taking small steps. Taking small steps and just like progressively overloading, right? You probably heard that term, if you go to the gym. But basically, progressive overload is just like in gym terms, is just adding weight consistently, like every week or so, to, make things harder and for your muscles to grow. So it's the same thing here, right? To spend more time intentionally, you just have to progressively overload and spend more and more time intentionally and less time on your phone. And that way, you're gonna waste a lot of, you're gonna save a lot of time, right? And ultimately, you're gonna do things that matter more. So, yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is eliminating. So, another thing I want to talk about is eliminating distractions. Eliminate things from your life that, you know, drive you away from your goals. This could be shows, movies, anime, video games, music. Hear me out, all right? I know things that I've listed can be good things, right? Like things that you can't really live without, but it's important to not overdo those things. Only do those things once in a while because it's important to take priority in things that matter more, like your purpose, right? But these things like shows, movies, anime, games are definitely awesome ways to relax, and I think it's important, but just not overdo it, right? I want to tell you about the past few weeks that I've had. As some of you may know, I think I haven't posted for what, 3 weeks, and I guess not many people know because I have 7 subscribers. But I haven't posted in 3 weeks because, I bought this new mic and I thought I'm gonna upgrade my video quality, my audio quality for my YouTube videos. So I was planning on thinking of a lot of ideas and scripting videos. I don't really script, I just make bullet points, but, I still have to research some stuff. So I plan to just make a lot of videos and then record them when I have, this mic. So basically what happened was those few weeks that I've been waiting for my mic, I just spent on distractions. I didn't really, think of a lot of ideas. I didn't really script out my videos, and I just spent those weeks just not doing much. Watching shows, movies, anime, playing video games with my friends, and I didn't really do anything purposeful. And thinking about it, I could have done so much. Dude, I see the vision. I see the vision, dude. I see the vision. Dude, there could be the house here and then maybe a pathway. Oh my. Yeah, let's build here. Love it. I could have spent my time way better than I did. And that made me feel kind of guilty. And so that's what I want to point out is spending time on distractions way too much is not good. And yeah, these things like movies, shows, video games are good to not burn out, but if you spend too much time on them, it is definitely not great. So try and limit your time that you spend on entertainment. And also, I want to speak about porn addiction, right? Again, I'm speaking from experience because I've been addicted since I was a kid. Well, I'm not addicted anymore, but I still struggle with lust. If things like shows, movies, anime, and anime can have some insane fan service. Anime can be crazy. And games and music. If these things make you want to sin, make you want to lust and, watch porn, cut that out. I advise you to cut that out because, shows and movies and anime can show, sexual stuff, video games as well, music, if it sings about sexual stuff, I hear that a lot of in rap when they basically rap about sex and woman, the B word can definitely make you want to lust. So cut those stuff out and just in general, eliminating distractions is just gonna make your life way purposeful. I think the last and most important thing I want to talk about is to prioritize you. Prioritize your health, your well being, and your mental health, Trust your own opinion. Like, especially about things you love. The way you dress, what foods you like, what shows you enjoy watching, your dream job, whatever it is, just trust your own opinion. Just trust your own opinion and don't let anyone else stop you. Because what's gonna happen is at the end of your life, or I guess after a long amount of time, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm working a job I don't like, I'm wearing clothes I don't enjoy, and that aren't my style. I have this and that because it's more socially acceptable. I'm living a life that's more socially acceptable, but I'm not happy. I don't want that to be you, and I wouldn't want that to be me. You want to think for you. You want to buy things for you. You want to do things for you. You want to think for you. You don't want to be living someone else's life because what's going to happen is when you grow old, you're going to be unhappy because all of your life you lived for someone else and not for you. So live your life the way you want to and trust your opinion. And that way, you're going to save a lot of time on things that matter more, on things that you love, on things that, matter to you. And that way you're gonna save time. That way you're not gonna waste time in your life, might be more beautiful than you think. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope that some of these things that I mentioned, you're gonna implement and I hope these things help. And if you have any questions, if you have any struggles, share in the comments and I'd love to help if possible and Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I love you guys, and never stop learning.